Essentially, I'm a teacher on the internet or a teacher on social media that has upwards of millions of students. And the thing is the better teacher I become, the more students I receive. So like for instance, right now, I'm not the greatest advisor or teacher. I have 690 subscribers. And as I get better and as I progress further and further, I gain more subscribers, but it's not that. I'm gaining more students and I'm giving more lessons and I'm teaching more things and providing more value for not only YouTube, but for students all across the world. There's people all over the world that are trying to get on YouTube and make it on YouTube, turn YouTube into a career, turn social media into a career, turn the internet into a career. And I'm teaching these people how to do that. I'm not asking for money right now, but I could ask for money. I could do a lot of things to engage in how I make more money. I could be trying to do everything I can to monetize my account. But right now, I want to give the viewers some true things that really make them stand out and make a difference in who they are, and not only as a person, but as a creator and as just an individual. I want people to be able to make their dreams come true. And if I can be a part of that, I'm just in awe to be in that position. It's amazing to me. One of my biggest mentors is my grandma Mary. She was a teacher, and I've always envied that. I wanted to be just like her, to be honest. She's so smart and patient, and she knew what was going on. She always had a good head on her shoulders. Well, now I can be a teacher, and not only can I be a teacher to 20 students, but I can be a teacher to 20,000 kids or 20 million kids. And I could literally change their lives and their future more than anybody could ever imagine, because I can make sure that class does not end at 3 o'clock. I could be giving courses from 3 o'clock in the morning till midnight. I'm not gonna, that's too many hours, but I'm saying I could literally have my class at any time of the day, 365 days a year, 24/7. I'm available to my students at any time. And I'm not calling to be able to interact with my students at all times. If they message me when I'm sleeping, obviously I can't interact with them. But when I'm ready to work, I can go to work and present what I have to and become the teacher that I want to at any time of the day, anywhere I'm at in the world. My students can continually gain information from me, and they don't even have to be, in my classroom. They don't have to be in the actual school, in the presence of the school. They don't even have to be doing the thing that they don't want to do. Most of these kids are going to class and are putting the courses that they don't even like. They're like prerequisites, or they're things that they're not interested in, or things that aren't beneficial to their life, things that aren't going to make them money when they're an adult. Why not give them that? Why not teach these kids how to start making money when they're young? Why not teach these kids how to start building a business when they're young? Teach these kids what's important in life. I'm going to start teaching my son and my students right now. I've already been leaving the path for my son to be able to recreate a YouTube channel since the day one. I've always wanted to give my son money, but I found out through one of my biggest mentors, Warren Buffett, that leaving your children money is a waste of their potential. And I want everyone out there to really understand what I'm saying. If you are somebody who's going to be a successful person in this world, do not leave your children shit. Don't leave them shit unless they deserve it. If they worked for you for 20 years or whatever, and they busted their ass, and then one day when you're 70 years old, you make a will and you put them in your will. But until that day, don't give your children shit, because you're just going to give them handouts, and the world is not full of handouts. The world is full of hard work, and the world is full of being educated and knowledgeable and intelligent. If you want to be a person who's going to be a great mentor, a great teacher, a great parent, and you teach your children and your students the exact way to do that. And you teach them what life is really about. The things that are real right now is the internet, education, the ability to earn income, the ability to create business, the ability to be an entrepreneur. Those things are powerful in this day and age in 2018. So yeah, I didn't go to college. I don't have a master's degree. But I'm giving the world and my students more than some teachers will ever do for their students in a 40, 50, 60-year career as an actual teacher. I'm out here making a difference, and I'm not trying to boost myself, but I'm just letting myself know from this video. This video might just be for myself, that literally I'm changing the world as we know it. And I'm part of one of the biggest movements available, and that's teaching people how to use the internet, how to use social media, and how to use YouTube. These kids don't want to be baseball stars no more, or doctors no more. They want to be YouTube stars, and they want to be on the internet, and they want to be on everybody's smartphone, and they want to be the talk of the fucking town, and they want to be the talk of the school, and they want to be the talk of all their friends. Teach them that shit. But let them learn how to do it at a young age, so when they get older, they already know how to do it, and they're already so many steps ahead of the normal businessman that college is literally just a waste of time for them when they can just simply keep following this course that I'm giving them, that they can be taking right now. So children who are literally 4 or 5 years old can start taking my course, and they can be ahead of the game. There could be children who are 4 or 5 years old in this course, and there could be people who are 90 years old in this course. It doesn't matter. I can literally benefit and affect every age group. How many people do you really know, and how many careers do you really know, especially teaching careers, are like that? No principal, no teacher in the educational system in the world, and definitely in America, is doing shit like this. And I know that people out there are better teachers than me. They are. But they're not doing the things that I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm standing out and I'm shining like a fucking star. And I'm sorry that I swore to my students, but I'm going to do it sometimes because I'm still young. I want them to know that you can make mistakes, and you can say things sometimes that you don't necessarily mean, and you could do things sometimes that aren't necessarily positive. That's why I don't do step 1 through a million on how to get so many subscribers, because there's going to be times where I lose focus. I lose track of what's important, what's going on. The primary objective is teaching people how to use the internet and social media and YouTube, but sometimes I'll do a video and I'll start talking about how to make some money on a different, totally side hustle, you know what I mean? And that's all part of this process, that they can see how the brain works, and they can see that, yeah, class was about this at this time, and now he's talking about this is a different course. I don't have to take this course, or maybe I want to take this course. They have the decision now, you know what I mean? I give them multiple sources of value, and they can decide which one is more important to them. If they don't like this YouTube course, then essentially they do what they want, and they go to a different video. Maybe they go to one of my videos about a particular hustle or a way to make money that I've created. And if they don't like my channel, they go to somebody else and they do, they learn from them. This is about the ability to, do things that are totally changing the game. Us YouTube creators out here really have it in for us. We have a job that is an overwhelming task, and we're not getting paid the price that we should be getting paid for it. But if we're doing our jobs and we're the person who's really supposed to be in this position, we're not doing this for the money. We're doing this for the benefit that we have on our students and the future of not only our students, but humans as a whole. Humans haven't gotten this far in the world simply by chance or by fate or luck. We're not driving around in sophisticated technological cars today because of chance. You know what I mean? The wheel was slowly evolved, or cavemen were established. Then the wheel was slowly evolved. And through a generation of time, Henry Ford, started manufacturing and mass producing vehicles. and assembly line and everything came about. And then, vehicles started being more and more produced. And nowadays we have smart technology in our cars, and even green and energy efficient technology in our cars. But do you think that the caveman who was pushing around that first ball, who thought of the wheel, is really, understanding that what he was doing and that he was really part of a movement that was going to be that powerful? Well, this is about evolution, baby. That man who established that first wheel, that didn't know what the hell he was doing, that just knew that he was supposed to be here, and what he was a part of was just something that he was meant to do, almost like a destiny. That's what this is. This is a destiny. This is my destiny. I made a video called "Do You Know What Your Destiny Is?" or maybe it was "What's Your Destiny?" I don't remember the title because I have so many videos. And what is your destiny, though? You know what I mean? What do you really want to do? Because if you're trying to make money on the internet, you're trying to, have an extra source of income, trying to make money on social media, YouTube, you're trying to be an influencer, you're trying to be a leader, you're trying to be a role model to your children, you're trying to get a bigger house, have a better relationship with your children, with your significant other, this is the place for you. I'm telling you, by the end of this journey, as long as I'm still breathing, I'm telling you, the people who I impact are going to be like, wow, this man knew what he was doing. And I don't know what I'm doing today. I just know the goal and hope of expectation that I have for myself in the future of what I'm doing. These videos are not going to just go away. So, for instance, say I was to die in 5 minutes. In 200 years, my videos may still be available. So that means I could still be teaching children who are 2 years old and 4 years old and 5 years old and 90 years old in 200 years. What kind of teacher has that ability or has ever been given that opportunity before? A teacher's responsibility today and has always been, they go there from 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever it may be, they work till 3 o'clock, and they go home and their job is over. My job does not get over. My job should continue for as long as man is alive. As long as the internet is available to humans, my job could be still affecting the people that I are trying to affect and my students. My students could literally be being influenced by somebody who's been dead for hundreds of years, and they could literally hear it from my mouth. They don't have to read it out of a textbook no more. They don't have to learn about people who are irrelevant. They can hear it from the mouth who created it. Wouldn't it have been nice to learn from Ben Franklin or Nikola Tesla from their word, having them literally explain what they were thinking, what they were doing, what was going on in the times and their inventions and their ideas, and you could literally hear what they had to say firsthand? That would be truly remarkable. And that's what this is. This is literally the best moment of my life, probably, because now I realize that, not only have I already been part of this movement, but I've created a movement that people are not realizing is right in front of them. I'm going to start a school on YouTube. And we're going to start teaching these people how to really, really benefit their lives, because I think that's what they need. And it's going to take people like me and people like the educators that are already out there giving away information and value. And we're going to ask for money sometimes because we need it to survive. But we're going to prepare these kids for a life that they're not believing that they can live. We're going to give them the opportunity to really live their dreams. We're not going to teach our students to grow up to be an employer for $10 a fucking hour and act like a slave for a guy who's a multi-millionaire or a billionaire like you do now. You go to school for what? K through 12 years or 13 years, plus you go to college for 2, 4, 6, or 8 years. and then you go to work for 40 to 50 to 60 years to die while you're making very minimal amount of money, and who's to say you're ever going to even reach retirement? That's bull. We're trying to be able to make these children be able to retire by age 30. That's right, I said be able to have our students retire by age 30. Our students can start teaching students by their 20s, or maybe even by their teens if they pick the information up fast enough. There could be a teenager that's 13 years old that's been following my channel for a couple years, and he could be influencing people who have master's degrees right now. He could be influencing doctors and lawyers, neurosurgeons, politicians. You know what I mean? That 13-year-old boy could be influencing the president if he's got better information or value that the president isn't aware of yet. The president isn't aware of what we're doing, because if the president was aware of this, he would be doing this, not me. And that's why I told people before I wanted to be president, because I knew that I could be a better president than the president that we have today. Donald Trump is not a good president. If you're going to be on social media and you're a president, you have an obligation to withhold, and that means you have to be a leader at all times. You have to represent the utmost character at all times. You can't be degrading people on Twitter, saying this person's that, or this person's a slut, or this person's a liar. You always have to be positive, and you always have to be knowing that people are looking at you and scrutinizing your every move. People like me, now that I'm a teacher on YouTube and teacher on the internet, my whole life is criticized. Everything I've ever done is going to be criticized. Everything I'll ever do is going to be paid attention with a fine-tooth comb, and I don't care. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to fail. I'm going to do things wrong, but I'm also going to do things right. And I'm part of a movement right now that is going to evolve. And I'm telling you the future right now. And this is 2018. Nobody's doing this right now. I'm telling you the future. I'm going to give you a glimpse of the future. These smartphones that were created, this internet that was created, it was so information and technology can be passed on at any given time. So when somebody comes up with a good idea, they can spread that information to as many people, maybe billions of people, within a matter of minutes. So not only does that person have the information, but everybody does. Information is no longer should be seclusive. It shouldn't be, like a patent. If you think of a good idea, it shouldn't be something that you hold down and lock tight and put away the key. It should be something that you can expose to others, so then those people can start thinking critically too and come up with their own ideas. Ideas are endless and infinite. They're not fucking exclusive. They're not something that needs to be hidden from society. Like politicians today and the government today, they got all this information and advanced skills and knowledge and intelligence, but they don't tell us nothing because they think that we're out to screw them over. They don't want us to be smart. You know what I mean? I want my students to be as smart as possible. I want them to be able to take out the goddamn government if they want. I don't want them to get killed or go to prison, but I want them to be able to have the fucking ability to have the confidence to take out anybody they want, and that may be the government if the government's doing wrong. And today, in this day and age, the government is doing wrong. Politicians are doing wrong. Our mentors are doing wrong. Our teachers are being misinformed and misled, and our education system is absolutely whack. No education system in the entire country is teaching children how to really be prepared for life. They are teaching them to go to school, listen, and perform a task by being laborers and by being puppets. If you want to be a puppet, then go to class like a regular student and do exactly what you've been doing. But if you want to be a superstar, and if you want to be famous, and if you want to be rich, then you might as well drop out of fucking school and start following people just like me who know what the hell they're talking about, who have lived their life long enough to understand that they don't want to work till they're 65 years old and die from fucking heart attack or cancer. And yeah, I keep swearing and getting a little animated, but it's the truth. I'm not going to have my students thinking that there's going to be, a light at the end of the tunnel when they're 20 years old if they work hard for 40 years. Fuck that. 40 years? I want my students to be happy and living their dreams now. They only have one life to live. They are very fortunate to be alive as it is. There's a 400 trillion to 1 odds that they're even humans to begin with. Why are we going to make it seem like there's a monopoly on our abilities? Because that's what there is. There's a monopoly on our potential. There's a monopoly on our abilities. There's a monopoly on income. There's a monopoly on industry. There's a monopoly on power. There's a monopoly on everything. And monopolies were supposedly outlawed and abolished years and years ago. So why is it that I know so much and everybody else knows so little? Why do I have to be the one to take a stand against the entire world and fight every single person with my smartphone like it's a goddamn battle axe? Because this is a new day. I'm fighting a different war. I'm not fighting people who are terrorists like the Bush administration or the Obama administration or any presidential administration has told you before. War is essentially only created or only goes on for profit, for money, by greedy bankers, wealthy people, steel industries, and presidents, politicians alike. If you think that the war in Iraq was created because of weapons of mass destruction or because Osama bin Laden knocked down 9/11, you're absolutely wrong. Osama bin Laden is still alive. Osama bin Laden had nothing to do with 9/11 except for the fact that him and the president conspired to make 9/11 occur. And once the president realized that he was caught and that the information could be exploited, then that's when, you know, the president, who was friends with Mr. bin Laden, so George Bush, I'm talking to you. You were friends with bin Laden. Your family used to stay with bin Laden in his palaces previously when your dad was in office. So why all of a sudden now, once you make a plan and it goes bust, or you take over the economy and crash the stock market, that now all of a sudden he's a target? Well, maybe he's a target and he was a target simply because you didn't want him to tell everybody what he knew. Does that ever make sense? Did you ever think about it like that, people? And I'm not saying that's exactly how it went down, but just put the pieces together and think about it critically in your own terms. I'm not saying conspiracy theory, think or, you know, blame this person or that person. I'm just saying think outside the box. Know what you've been told, and then know what I just said, and then figure out what sounds more realistic. Who sounds like the bad guy and who sounds like the good guy? Because from where I'm coming from right now, it sounds like the president's the bad guy, I'm the good guy, and I'm the one who got thrown in the psych ward, who's been thrown in poverty, who's been given arthritis, who's been taken from every chance and opportunity that most people would consider real. And I'm the one who's still standing here fighting until the day I fall and collapse and die, because I'm not scared of anybody or anything. And even if it means I have to kill the president of the United States because he's making the country toxic and he's hurting and harming and killing others, then I will do it. I will do that for my students. I will do that for my friends, for my family, and for my son. Because I love all them people very much. And you know who I love the most? I love myself the most. I love my son second, and I love the future third. So that's all I got for today. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I hope you know that this video could potentially be something that is like the light bulb when it first went off in people's eyes, and teachers really jump on this boat with me. I really hope that us as influencers and collaborators could bump heads and start doing this as a collaborative, so I don't have to make a million tutorial videos about the internet. I want other people to help me do this. So if I was to pass away during this time, I want you to take over the the reins. You know what I mean? I want you to take my place. And I don't care if it's one person or a million people who got to step in and fulfill my shoes. Somebody needs to when I'm gone, because I can't do this forever, and I can't be the only one who's a part of this, because the task is just too big. I can be talking to billions of people in the next several years. I can be literally thinking a thought or coming up with a constructive plan for my students, and in a matter of minutes I could portray that message to my students via internet, social media, and smartphone, and they could all have that information. But there's gonna be times where I'm gonna want to just relax with my children, with my grandchildren, with my wife, and these people aren't going to be able to continually learn things throughout that time. I only have so many videos and so much time. So yeah, I'm going to do my best, but I can't do everything, and I'm only one person, and I'm human, and I have other responsibilities as a man and as a father too. You know what I mean? My son's life is the most important thing besides my life, like I said, and if I can't spend time with him, or if I can't share the love that I have with him and do things that I enjoy, then how's he going to be able to do that? I can't make him spend his entire adult life doing what I'm doing too, because then the struggle is never going to be over. And that whole thing about getting people to stop working a 9 to 5 is just going to be switched to, me and my son influencing people the entire time that we're awake. And we can't do that. We have to be able to go to the beach and go on vacations and see our friends and see our family and eat healthy and exercise. We have to do that stuff too. So somebody else has to help us do this stuff. You know what I mean? We are the future teachers of America, and we're speaking to the future today, and we're asking for help. I need help. Me, personally, Kyle Kilburg, I need your help. And my son Briar, he needs your help. My brother Jake, he needs your help. We need your help. We need your help. We need your help. Please help us.